What's up, you guys? My name is Alex. I am the junior high pastor at our Temecula campus, and I will be continuing our series called 40 Days to Freedom. Now, growing up as a kid, there was one thing that I loved doing. I have so many memories looking back, and that's from going camping. We went camping so much as a kid, and I loved it. And one thing about camping as a kid, and some of you guys maybe have kids and you go camping all the time, you know they get dirty and they get gross, and they don't mind that it's uncomfortable, and you guys are going on hikes. Maybe you get lost, you're building a fire, maybe someone gets burned. Who knows? That was me. I love building fires. I love getting messy and getting dirty. But as you get older and you go back camping, you start to feel that, okay, this dirt, this getting lost on hikes, this out in nature in the wilderness, it's not as fun as it was as a kid. Maybe it's a little uncomfortable now, or you're not really used to it. And coming back home from camping, I always look forward to taking a nice hot shower, being home, being in a place I recognize, not being out in the wilderness, and being comfortable. And that's the word we're going to talk about today, is comfortable. So in Luke chapter 9, that's where we're going to spend our time today. We're going to start in verse 57 and go to 62. It says this: As they were going along the road, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." And Jesus said to him, "Foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." To another he said, "Follow me." But he said, "Lord, let me first go and bury my father." And Jesus said to him, "Leave the dead to bury their own dead, but as for you, go and proclaim the kingdom of God." Yet another said, "I will follow you, Lord, but let me first say farewell to those at my home." Jesus said to him, "No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God." So growing up, I grew up in youth group. I grew up with an amazing group of friends that my faith at that time, it wasn't really uncomfortable. There was comfort to it. There was familiarity to it. There was youth group. There was small group leaders. I was in this amazing little bubble that I got to grow up into and have my faith just encouraged and strengthened. But as I got into high school and going into college, there was this question that started to come up. And life started to get a little bit more difficult. There was things I was realizing, Jesus, you're not really fitting in my schedule. You're not really fixing the things I want fixed. And I don't understand what you're doing. And this question started to come up. Do I really know what it looks like, what it takes? Do I know what the cost is of following Jesus? Because these disciples in these verses, their confidence is challenged by Jesus. Jesus says, "Oh yeah, you want to follow me?" They say, "Yeah, I want to follow you, Lord. Go lead the way. I'll follow you. Let's do this." Jesus says, "Okay, well, first you need to not do that. Follow me. Don't do that." And they go, "I'm not too comfortable with that." And in Matthew chapter 7, there's a story that Jesus says, and there's two houses. One is built on the rock. One is built on the sand. And when rain came and winds blew, only one house was left standing, and it was the house built on the rock. And the reason why he tells that story, are you putting in this Bible, on these pages, when you go to Sunday and you hear a message, you're in a life group, are you applying what you read? Are you applying what you hear in your life? Are you understanding that applying this in your life sometimes is going to be uncomfortable? Applying this in your life, sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice. Sometimes you're going to have to give up friendships. Sometimes you're going to have to give up things that you hold dear to your heart for the sake of following Jesus. So that's the question I just want to leave us with today. Do we understand the cost of following Jesus? Do we understand that there's pain? Do we understand that there can be uncomfortableness with it, that there's not always going to be comfort in your faith? And there is going to be an end to this. Jesus has already won. We're going to be in heaven. We have eternity waiting for us. But on this side, there's this small little challenge that feels so big on this side of eternity. And are you willing? Do you understand? Are you willing to wrestle with this question? Do you know what the cost of following Jesus is in your life? Thanks for joining us.